Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to our November edition of the US Pack On Time Courier podcast. That's a lot to get out. I think I've said that before, but it's a lot to get out and make sure I don't mess that up. So, welcome to our November edition. I can't believe it's already it's almost turkey time. It's football time. Here yesterday for the first time, I got snow, which I don't want to talk about, but it's November and we are here and ready to go. Excuse me, a little frog in the throat. We've got as always, we've got a packed lineup for you today. Our first guest today with us is going to be Julio Morales. Julio is one of our area managers, and he works primarily on the East Coast in our healthcare vertical. Julio's a world of information, so we're going to get some good stuff from him. Then we also have Heather Poulin. Heather is our account management director in our life sciences vertical. And that is the life science that is the one we've talked about a few times in here. It's really the growth engine for our company. And Heather's right in the middle of it. So she's going to bring us a lot of good information, not only about, about independent contractors and things you can do to be successful, but about the industry as a whole and sharing some of her feedback and observations. So that's great. As always, we have Liz Billias. She'll be here with our monthly safety message, and we wouldn't be it wouldn't be an edition without Liz in that safety edition. And then, as always, behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, beside the scenes, we have Kate Wiles. Kate is what is it? I'm gonna do all the titles if I can: director, producer, editor, director, if I didn't say that one already, and probably about 5 more when it comes to keeping me in line. So, Kate behind the scenes making all this happen. Kate, thank you so much. As always, as we go into 2026 and go into the upcoming year, we really want to hear your feedback. What do you want to see and hear on this podcast? We do this each month for you, the independent contractors, so that we can share information with you, answer questions you may have. If there's people you'd like to see on this, if there's topics you'd like to see us discuss, by all means, send it in to us. You can email it to the driver experience team at gouspack.com, and or you're welcome to reach out to me directly, Kevin Beasley, and you'll be able to find my information. So looking forward to it. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, everybody. And as promised, I am here today with our first guest of the show. Our first guest today is Julio Morales. Julio is one of our area managers that primarily operates in the eastern part of the country. Julio, thank you so much for joining us today.
No problem. How are you? How
I'm
you doing, Kevin?
doing great, man. Doing great.
Glad to hear it.
Yep. So I appreciate you joining. Julio, if you don't mind, just kind of introduce yourself to everybody. Kind of tell us a little bit about you.
All right. It's pretty simple. Uh I've been, my journey started with US Pack like a little bit over a decade. I started as an operation manager and have successfully advanced to the area manager in the position that I'm currently going.
Okay, good. How long you been in transportation all told, or is this your transportation experience?
Uh, I went to school for finance and investment. I probably did that for like about probably 5 years. After that, I got into logistics. I've been doing logistics for roughly like about 20, 20 plus years.
Wow, impressive time. So, and I didn't know what you went to college for. I may have some investment questions for you after we're done here. So we'll
No
see. So,
problem.
hey, as one of our area managers, and you're in our healthcare vertical, I believe, Julio. So, uh, as one of our field representatives, how do how does what you do on a day to day basis support our local operations and our contractors in the field?
Well, I think it goes a long way. The collaboration that we have with my team, it's greatly. I engage with them constantly. I want to make sure that the engagement is there because I want to understand each one of the accounts that they manage. By recognizing each one of the accounts that they manage, we could distinctly have a process and procedure and excel identifying the couriers that we're going to be contracting to service each one of the accounts that the field managers have.
Okay. All right. Good. Thank you for going through that. And as you mentioned, the local representatives, as an area manager, how does your role on a day-to-day basis kind of differ from them? What do you do that stands out or is different from the local representative?
Well, as an area manager, I do analyze a lot of the financial data that we have. I try to pinpoint, identify routes, stops where we could enhance and we could get a better margin and a profitability overall for our company. I also do KPIs to make sure that we understand where we sit and where we at with each one of the customers, and also to make sure that we engage with the field as well as with the couriers to make sure that we continue to maintain that company standards and excel in customer standards in the service that we provide. Uh, Additionally, I'm very proactive to engage with each one of the accounts to make sure that we maintain that relationship, that close relationship. I know many of the field managers have that relationship, but I do it at a different level to make sure that we continue that relationship to increase business growth.
Got it. Yeah, you do. If I understand correctly, I mean, you do quite a bit of traveling, right? You're constantly going out and customer locations and all that kind of stuff. So I know you're
Yes, yes, I do have the ability. I do travel a lot. I live in the city, so many of the accounts that I've had, legacy accounts, I've had them for over a decade. So I have a strong relationship with them, but I always try to travel outside of New York City, going to Maine, going to all the different locations. I visit many of the field managers up there in Maine. I love the weather, by the way, up there. Everybody hates the cold. I love it, but I like to get up there, especially during the winter. So, engaging with those accounts, seeing where we could grow, trying to look at it with different eyes is definitely a way that I could make sure that we continue to grow, and at the same time understanding how the couriers are doing with some of these accounts.
awesome. No, thank you very much for going through that. And I'm glad you specified when you said the city, you said New York, because I'm from Ohio. So the city here is Cleveland. So
Yeah.
not quite as big as New York City. So yeah, it's, as you were talking through that, Julio, it really is kind of a fine balancing act, isn't it? To make sure that we are meeting the customer demands, financially profitable as a company, but also ensuring that our contractors have opportunities that allow them to generate the most revenue they can generate as well as
Yes, yes, 100%. And in a previous role that I had, I was a director of recruiting, and a valuable insight that I learned is that a successful courier is the one that partners with us as the business opportunity to thrive. When a courier of that adapts that perspective, and a courier uh, looks at it that way, what they do is they're going to increase their revenue. They're going to increase uh, their business. They're going to increase their relationship with us as well. And at the same time, while they're doing that and looking at it as a business, they're going to be able to excel the services that they provide for the customers that we have as well.
awesome. Yeah, thank you for going through that. I didn't know that you had been recruiting in a previous role in your life. We'll have to compare notes one of these days.
Yes, I
And
did. I did quite a traveling back when my kids were very young. I would get on a plane on a Monday and then come back on a Thursday.
well, yeah, I used to do some of that myself and not anymore. Um, Julio, in your role, how does your role interact directly with our independent contractors, and what type of communication and that do you have with our contractors in the field?
Well, I try to make sure that every independent contractor that works hand in hand with the field, they understand that they could always come to me. Any concerns regarding driver paid, any concerns that they have regarding in each one of the accounts that they're servicing. I want to make sure that they could also come to me. I'm always available to engage if something needs to be escalated within US Pack as well as with the customer.
Awesome. And that's good to know. And I know from my experience, I've seen you interacting with contractors a great deal, so I can truly attest to that. So Julio, with your 10 plus years here at US Pack and your experience, your success you've had in the industry, what type of thoughts or feedback would you like to give to our independent contractors who are watching this?
Yeah, as I mentioned before, um, independent contractors, in order for them to be successful, they have to be able to successfully service an account, successfully have that relationship, including with the account, and continue to build that relationship with us. Because if they build that relationship with us, they're going to be successful. They're going to continue to increase their business on their end as well as our end.
Awesome. I think that's great, great feedback. It's we've touched on a few times in some earlier episodes, just all the opportunities that US Pack offers to our contractors, not only the ability for different types of commodities, right? Healthcare and auto parts and pharmaceuticals and all that, but the ability to become, if they choose to, a master contractor with our company.
Correct.
There's a lot of great opportunities here at US Pack, and that's one of the great things about our company is the fact that we offer so much. So Julio,
Yes.
thank you so much for I know in your role you're extremely busy every single day. So thank you for taking the time to join us and sharing some of your experience and knowledge with our contractors. We certainly do appreciate it. So thank you.
No problem. It's always a pleasure talking to you guys. It's always a pleasure talking to your group. Listen, you guys do a lot for us. Behind the scenes, you guys are doing what, many of the work that sometimes the field doesn't see it, but I do appreciate every time. I could tell you that. Yes. Thanks. Thanks a lot.
Awesome. Julio, thank you so much. And I think we're going to throw it over to Liz for our monthly safety message. So Liz, take it away.
Thanks, Kevin. With November here and Thanksgiving approaching, we first want to say how grateful we are for each of you. You run your own businesses, you choose to partner with us, and you deliver with professionalism day in and day out. We truly appreciate you. Just a quick note on seasonal safety. Even though we covered fall's weather last month, remember that conditions can change quickly this time of year. Take a moment before each day's deliveries to make sure that you and your vehicle are good to go. And remember to be patient as roads and daylight shifts. But since this month is about gathering, cooking, and preparing for the holidays, we also want to spotlight a few non-driving safety reminders. Thanksgiving meals often mean crowded kitchens, hot surfaces, and lots happening at once. Remember to keep flammable items away from stovetops and never leave frying or roasting unattended. And also make sure that the little ones and pets stay clear of those cooking areas. If deep frying turkeys is your tradition, always do it outdoors on a flat, dry surface, never inside the garage or near structures. And remember to thaw the turkey completely, lowering it in slowly so that the oil doesn't flare up. As holiday lights and decorations start going up, be sure to check your cords for fraying, be careful not to overload your outlets, and use proper ladders rather than chairs or makeshift steps to reach those high spots. This season sees some of the highest household fire incidents of the year. Test your smoke detectors, keep your fire extinguishers accessible, and be mindful of candles. Never leave them lit if in an empty room. And most importantly, take care of yourselves. The holidays can be busy and stressful, so carve out time for rest, meals, and moments with the people who matter most. For all of us at US Pack, thank you for your partnership and service commitments you bring to your work every day. We wish you and your families a safe, warm, and happy Thanksgiving. Until next time.
All right. And Liz, as always, thank you for that great safety message, especially as we're getting in the wintertime and all that. Safety is so important. And as I know Liz says all the time, the most important thing, obviously, is that you get home to your family and friends safely out there on the road. So be safe. And again, Liz, thank you for that message. And I'm fortunate enough here to be with one of our account management directors in our life science vertical, Heather Poulin. Heather, we are fortunate to have you here today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Um, I've worked with you, and actually, we were just talking before we started recording. I learned
Mhm.
something about you I didn't even know, that we worked at sister companies long ago. So tell us a little bit about yourself and what you'd like to share.
So, I have spent about the last 12 years of my career in transportation. 8 of those years, or close to 8 of those years, here at US PAC, in an account management role. Um, um, and specifically, those last 2 years dedicated to life science. So it's been a very interesting few years. I've learned a lot, and hopefully, we'll be able to share some of that today.
Awesome. Yeah, looking forward to it. And I know you said over those 2 years that business has really taken off for us in the
Mhm.
last 2 years, hasn't it?
Mhm.
It's
Yes.
it's really grown quite a bit. So um, earlier in our podcast, we spoke with Julio Morales, who's one of our area managers. I know you know Julio well. Um, as an account management director at US PAC in the life sciences, how do you interact with area managers? On a day to day basis. What's that interaction like? Give us a little window into that.
Okay, so I'm going to expand that out a little farther, not just to area managers, but all of our operators. So, operations managers, on site coordinators, our dispatch team members. So, I like to describe it kind of as a relay race, where if I am primarily having engagements, conversations, with our clients, once I have that information, how do I run that relay race and hand it off to the next person who's going to run with that information, that opportunity, and ultimately take it to execution? So, um, I regularly will have conversations with all manner of operators throughout the course almost every day. I don't think there's a day that goes by that I'm not having a conversation with someone on our operations team about some facet of what we're doing, whether that's a change a client's making, whether that is receiving feedback from them on some challenges that we might be experiencing in our execution of the support for a client, so that I have the opportunity to learn, understand that, and then take it back to our client and figure out how we make that better, how we get it to run smoother, etc. So, um, I think that in my work with operations, it's incredibly important for me to understand not just what the customer's expectation is, but also how that translates to what actually happens in the real world, right?
Sure.
When that driver shows up to that clinical location or that pharmaceutical manufacturer or something like that, and actually understand like what the mechanics of that looks like. What obstacles are there that maybe we didn't think through, and how do we either take them away or minimize them in order to make sure that it is a good client experience as well as a good independent contractor experience.
Wow, yeah, that's awesome. Thank you for going through that. As you were going through that, Heather, it makes me think, you and your team are almost kind of the glue, right? You're working with the customer, you're working with operations, who's working with our independent contractors, trying to make it so that every experience is a great one
Mhm.
and it works well for everybody. So thank you for going through that. It's a giant jigsaw puzzle, so to speak, and you and your team do a
Yeah,
great job of pulling it all together. So thank you.
thank you.
Um, what are some of the recent developments that you've seen in life science um, in your role in account management, and how do you think they would impact US PAC?
So, um, probably the biggest changes that I have seen developments, it's the growth and expansion of cell and gene therapies. So for those people that might not be familiar, cell and gene therapy is a typically it's a one of a kind life-saving medication that is developed for a specific patient.
Wow.
So think of someone that has what may be an incurable cancer, or some type of genetic disorder that there isn't a cure for. We're seeing more and more pharmaceutical companies develop additional drugs to battle those diseases. And with that, with the growth of those cell and gene therapies, that kind of translates into more opportunities for US PAC to support transportation of either the very beginning portion of what that drug will be, or the final drug product. But recognizing that even the slightest hiccup in that chain could have a negative impact on either that drug not getting manufactured, that drug not being able to be used on a patient, and what that could mean to their prognosis and the outcome of their life.
Wow. Yeah. Thank you for that, Heather. It's
Mhm.
it again. It at times befuddles me a little bit, just the importance of the stuff that we are hauling, and the
Mhm.
work that we're doing with our customers, and with the patients, and the
Mhm.
difference that we're making in people's lives day in, day out.
Yeah.
It sometimes it makes you take a step back and just
Yeah.
realize that, what we're doing is an important part in someone's life.
Yes, incredibly important, and um, I look at it as, we're not just picking things up and we're putting them down somewhere else, right?
Right.
We with the even if my role in it is very, very tiny, I have the opportunity to potentially help save someone's life.
Yeah.
And that's a big deal to me, right? That's exciting to me that I, in whatever my capacity is, might have that opportunity to help someone.
I would agree. I think we all, I can speak for myself, even in the little piece I play in it. It's rewarding, as you just
Mhm.
said, to know that the work we do makes a positive impact
Mhm.
in lives, and whether it's in, treating an
Mhm.
illness, or whatever piece of it plays.
Mhm.
It's a substantial piece in someone's life, and
Yes.
we play a little piece of that. So
Yeah.
that is. It makes you think it sometimes.
Mhm.
So, thank you for that. Heather, as we talk about your role and what you do, and you've given us a great window into that. What are some parts of your role day in, day out, that our contractors might be a little surprised, or
Okay.
I would say surprised probably is the best word, that they hear that you do on a day to day basis.
Ask a lot of questions. A lot of questions.
All right.
And questions to customers, questions to operations and our internal support team. Sometimes Kevin directly view, right?
Yeah.
Trying to I think you used an analogy, right? Like putting the puzzle pieces together,
Yeah.
being able to understand and ask well, why this, why that, right? And putting together that puzzle of, oh, okay, this is what the customer's trying to accomplish. This is how this translates into, you know, maybe it's what billing needs to do, or what driver settlement needs to do, or what operations needs to do, what reporting needs to look like. It could be any of those things. And oftentimes it can be an answer to the question of, how do we do this more, better, or different? Being able to um, streamline something, make a process simpler, deploy some technology that allows things to flow a little bit better. All of those things get kind of get put forth when I get the answer to this question here and this question here. So I spend an awful lot of time asking questions.
Well, that's good. And then you're getting everyone involved. So that's it sounds like a fun piece of the job. So that's awesome.
My husband just says I'm nosy.
Well, I mean, there's a skill set to asking questions, right? You got to ask the right questions and ask it of the right people. So there's a skill to that, certainly. That's awesome. Heather, with your experience in transportation and in the life science vertical specifically, what are some final thoughts or just things you'd want to share with our independent contractors?
The little things matter, especially on the life science side of things, whether that is attention to detail on how I look when I go to a client site or a clinical site, whether that's the vehicle that I'm driving and, is it clean inside? Recognizing that oftentimes these are life-saving medications. Whether that's doing a double check on an ID number on a shipment, because any of those little small things that may get overlooked could make the difference in saving someone's life.
Sorry, I was just going to say that is great advice.
Yeah, just attention to the small things, and they may seem insignificant by themselves, but in the grand scheme of things, attention to the small things and communication. Those are the two biggest things that we get asked from our customers. And so because they're asking us for those things, I know that they're meaningful to them. So that would be the advice and the ask that I would have. Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you for that. That's great feedback. And again, as we spoke earlier, the importance of what we're transporting brings to light just the importance of all the details along the way, as you just said. So great advice to our independent contractors and thank you for sharing that. Well, Heather, I think our time's about up. It flew by. I don't know about for you, but listening to you and hearing the different parts of what you're involved in and how you bring it all together, I think it's certainly been it's been beneficial for me, and I'm sure our independent contractors will enjoy it and find it as useful as I did. So thank you so much for your time today, and we'll have to have you on again in the future.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Man, that was a lot of stuff we covered today, and I hope you all found it extremely beneficial and informative. Thank you again to Julio and Heather for joining us, for Liz for bringing us our monthly safety message, and most of all, thank you to you, our independent contractors. You're out in the field every day. We appreciate all that you do in safely and professionally delivering products and sometimes, as you heard from Heather, extremely important items to our customers and sometimes the individuals. So thank you for being the great professional contractors that you are. We couldn't do any of this without you. So thank you. Again, if you have questions, thoughts, comments, please send them to us at the driver experience team at gouspac.com, which is our email. And again, thank you for that. Next month, which will be our final edition of 2025, we have a couple of huge guests with you that we had on earlier in the year, and we were able to get fortunate up here to bring them back with us. Mike Clark, our CEO, will be here to give us a little recap of 2025 and talk a little bit about next year, what's on the horizon, a lot of exciting stuff. And then also Kent Kriesman, who's the president of our healthcare vertical, doing the same thing. We're going to ask him, hey, how do we do in 2025? And what do you see on the horizon for next year? So a great addition coming up to end the year with. And again, thank you, everybody, and be safe out there.